Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to DadPooL's Discussions. I'm your host, the one and only DadPooL. How's everyone doing? Hope your week's been going good. Getting ready for the holiday. Enjoy some good Thanksgiving food, some football, some family, some friends. Maybe some good movies as well. But it's good to be back. So I know this is a little bit of a late video, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to get it out as soon as possible for you guys as part of the Horror Then and Now series. Um, But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. But before I do that, just want to say if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button, smash that like, turn on that notification bell so you know when this videos like these, like this, and future series will be debuting and showing up on the channel. Make sure you put that to all and share the channel out as well. It'd be appreciated. Let's help build, let's help grow and expand this community. Um, And the only way we can do that is by you guys helping out. So today's horror then and now films that we'll be going to be discussing and comparing is the Amityville Horror. The original came out in 1979, starring Margot Kidder and James Brolin. And the remake, great job by Ryan Reynolds. And I believe Melissa George played his wife. So this is our third take on Horror Then and Now, comparing the original and remakes. First one, had to give it to the original, had to give it to Hellraiser, just for the overall tone, stories, actors, and the characters. Not saying the remake in 2022 was bad, so I had to give it to the original. The second one, The Hills Have Eyes, I had to give it to the remake. Just because it was a fantastic film. It looked great. It really transformed the original film to a higher and different level. So yeah, I'd have to go with the remake. And then on this one, man, the remake is just. I mean, granted, both these movies have really bad ratings and very negative opinions, which I don't understand. I don't know what you guys are watching, but both are really good. I mean, I've actually been to this house. It's not far from where I live here in New York. I've actually seen the house. So I'm gonna have to give. I mean, let me get into the review, and then I'll tell you which movie won. But it's close though. It's a close because both are really good. And if you guys are, like I said, enjoying these, I probably shouldn't even call it like a versus, because it's not like they're it's two franchise. It's just comparing and contrasting. Maybe I'll change that versus up for the next one, but it's more so who had a better representation of the franchise. Was it the original or was it the remake? So let's get into some details about the original, and then we'll talk. Head over to the remake, and we'll close it up. With a little conclusion, and go into some things we got in the future, and then we'll call it a video. So the Amityville Horror, like I said, came out in 1979. It starred James Brolin as George Lutz, Margot Kidder as Kathy Lutz, Rod Steiger as Father Delaney, Don Stroud as Father Bolin, and Murray Hamilton as Father Ryan. The children were played by Natasha Ryan, Casey Martell, and Mino Paluch. The film also featured Irene Daly, Mark Van Hanyen, Elsa Raven and Helen Shaver in supporting roles. This movie followed the Lutz family, who moved into a house in Amityville, New York, where a mass murder had occurred a year before. They soon experienced strange and terrifying phenomena such as voices, visions, nightmares, and physical attacks. They also discovered that the house was built on an ancient Indian burial ground, which seems to happen a lot in these movies. When it comes to like a demonic possession, like Poltergeist was built on a burial ground. Just seems like a very common theme. And that a demonic force was trying to possess George and make him kill his family. Uh, they eventually fled the house after 28 days, leaving behind their belongings. The Amityville Horror from 1979 explored themes such as the American dream, the nuclear family, the haunted house, the evil within, and the power of faith. The film portrayed the Lutz family as a typical middle class family who wanted to start a new life in a spacious and beautiful house. However, their dream turned into a nightmare as they faced the horrors of the house and the evil that corrupted George. The film also showed the contrast between the rational and the supernatural, as the Lutz family tried to find logical explanations for the events, but were eventually forced to accept the reality of the paranormal. The film also depicted the role of religion and faith, as the Lutz family sought out the help of Catholic priests, who were also affected by the house's evil. The film suggested the only way to overcome the evil was to have faith and love, as the Lutz family escaped the house by holding hands and praying. Uh, this movie was a huge commercial success, grossing over about 86 million in North America and becoming one of the highest grossing independent films of all time. Like I said in the beginning, the film received mixed to negative reviews from critics who criticized the film's direction, script, acting, and lack of scares. The film has a 28% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 39 reviews with an average score of 4.5 out of 10. Uh, the consensus reads dull and disappointing. The best that can be said for the Amityville Horror is that it set a low bar for its many sequels and remakes. The film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, however, for Best Original Score and Best Sound, and 1 Golden Globe for Best Original Score. Margot Kidder also received a Saturn Award nomination for Best Actress. Um, yeah, I mean, again, this movie really set the bar, like it said, for the plethora of remakes. Now, when I tell you this movie has sequel upon sequel upon sequel, and anything and everything is Amityville, they really capitalized on this. And although the sequels, some pretty good, others just ones that you just wonder why you watched it. We know why you watched it, because you saw the name Amityville in it, and you were intrigued. You were kind of bought into it. You were hook, line, and sinker. Boom. Amityville. Um, but now they're getting crazy. Like, I think there's like Amityville Karen and Amityville Shark and Amityville Bear. I don't know. There's so many low budget, horrible takes on the Amityville name. And I gotta say, no other franchise, I think, has the amount of movies that are just so terrible in a franchise. Now, I know next month month after, I'll be talking in January, talking about how sequels either hurt or help the franchise. And I'm going to expand that from just not just horror. I'm going to bring, like, other genres, like, action, drama, comedy, romance. Did the sequels to this just did not help the franchise. It just got convoluted. We got kind of immune to the name Amityville Horror, and it just wasn't synonymous with being scary anymore. It was just more of a cash grab. And this is not something that's new. This has been said 1,000 times. Um, I'm not gonna, you guys want to watch these movies? Go ahead. Just saying, some of them are not that good. You could probably find a lot of them on Tubi. A lot of these Amityville spin-offs, as I call it. There's just so many. Um, but yes, I mean, this movie started that. I think it kind of took off from Exorcist, which came out, 5-6 years before this. And now we have a house that's possessed. And I truly think Poltergeist they've only had 3 movies within the universe, and then a remake. I think Poltergeist did it better as far as a house possession than Amityville did. I think the only thing that's cool that makes me want to talk about this is because I've been to the house and I've been there, I've visited, I've seen it, and that just adds more, not it just adds more like a wow factor, a love for it. Yeah, what do you guys think? The original. Have you seen the original? What's your thoughts on it? Have you made it past any of the sequels or any of the spin-offs? Because it's a lot of content, and it will take up a whole day if you want to watch every single one of these Amityville movies. But let me know your thoughts down below. So let's get into the remake, which came out in 2005. Let me just mention the Amityville Horror 1979 was directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who was known for his work on Cool Hand Luke, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and Brubaker. He was also nominated for 4 Golden Globes and 1 BAFTA award for his directing. Forgot to mention that about the original. So then we get to the remake, 2005, which was directed by Andrew Douglas, who was a British commercial and music video director. This was his feature film debut, and he later directed the documentary You Want Me to Kill Him? That came out in 2013. Great all-star cast in this. Ryan Reynolds as George Lutz, Melissa George as Kathy Lutz, Jesse James as Billy Lutz, Jimmy Bennett as Michael Lutz, Chloe Grace Moretz as Chelsea Lutz. Those are the children. The film also featured Philip Baker Hall as Father Calloway, Rachel Nichols as Lisa, Isabel Connor as Jody DeFeo, and Brendan Donaldson as Ronald DeFeo Jr. The 2005 was a remake of the 79 with some changes and additions to the plot. The film showed more of the backstory of the DeFeo family, who were killed by their son Ronald, who claimed to be influenced by the voices in the house. The film also added more scenes of George's descent into madness, Kathy's investigation of the house's history, and Chelsea's friendship with the ghost of Jody DeFeo. The film also had a different ending where George tried to kill his family with an axe but was stopped by Kathy, who reminded him of their love. They managed to escape the house, but George was briefly dragged back by the demonic force before being freed by Jody. And if you guys had seen the remake, I know a lot of you, from what I've listened to in other podcasts, other reviews, that the remake was well received, more so than what it actually shows as far as the rating goes. Again, both movies took a hit with negative reviews, which seems to be the norm these days anyways, because a movie comes out and you got 3 days before it even hits theaters, you guys are shitting on it and putting it down and dragging the actors and actresses through the mud and directors through the mud and story through the mud. You guys have, you guys got to just chill with that. I mean, yeah, everyone can have their opinion. That's fine and dandy. I have my opinion right now. It doesn't mean that that's the end all be all, thought of a movie. It doesn't have to be. blown out of proportion to the point where you just, everyone wants their clicks and views. I mean, not all of us do this for clicks and views. Some of us do this because, it's not a hobby either. It's a passion. So for anyone that wants to label podcasts like these, or review movies like a hobby, shame on you. Because in all some sense of word, no matter how serious you get into it, it's a hobby, it's a love, it's a passion, it's a business at the same time. So it can be all of it. It's not just black and white, one or the other. So shame on you for saying that certain podcasts are, should close shop because it's a hobby. You don't have that passion. Trust me. If you talk to my circle, you know the passion I have. And even so, more so with everything that I'm fighting through each day to bring the content. It's not like it's a normal thing. You try doing something with have one eye blocked, crazy pounding headache, and then the other eye kind of seeing shit. Floaters one. You tell me how good you can do stuff. I'm out here busting my ass, really putting a lot of work into what I love, which is to watch movies. I've been doing it my entire life. I just never did it in this platform because it was just something I would talk about with friends in conversation, either on the phone, in person, online. It doesn't matter. Now it's more so I'm talking to you guys and bringing it to a wider range of people. So there can be 1,000 people talking about a movie, and that's okay. Because I guarantee you're going to have 1,000 different point of views, 1,000 different opinions, and 1,000 different takes. They're not all going to be the same. Because we all talk about the same stuff. We all do the same things, but we all put our own special spin on it. We all have our own opinions on it. It all hits us different ways. It's all personal. So for people to continuously come after me and try to get my channel shut down, telling me to back off and quit, you're only stoking the fire more. You're only making me want to give me motivation to do it more frequently and more passionately. So thank you. I appreciate it. Keep it coming, because I ain't stopping. There's a lot of plans I have for this channel and for the content that I'm putting out. And it's going to take more than just losing an eye to stop me from doing that. So nice try. Keep trying, because you're not going to win. You're going to hear my voice. You're going to see the notifications. You're going to watch the videos. And you're going to still continue to do what you do. It's not going to stop me from doing what I do. But let me get back to 2005. Amityville Horror. Again, we all talk about remakes. We all talk about, maybe we shouldn't remake movies. Maybe, we should just let the Hollywood stories die and just stop resurrecting and revitalizing it and, putting new life into stuff. Like, although there are some bad remakes out there, some bad reboots, requels, however you want to call it, but for every 1 to 2 bad ones, we probably have 6 to 7, 8 good ones. And those good are more memorable than the bad ones. It's only because they're so bad that they stick out in your mind and people want to be negative about it. Like, this movie, this remake was probably one of Ryan Reynolds, and we all know his his acting ability Deadpool, Free Guy. I mean, it's not his first horror. He did a movie called Buried, which was really good. He did a movie called Voices, which is kind of like a comedic horror movie. Like, he has such range, and he he pulled this off so good. One of his best performances ever in a movie. And like I said, he's had a lot. Van Wilder. I mean, the list can go on and on. I mean, he's just a very talented actor, and when he's called upon a role, he gives it 100. He gives it like he says in he maximum effort. He gives maximum effort in everything he does, and it showed in this remake. And even before I finish, I'm gonna say now the remake is much better than the original by far. And I'm not saying it because it's 30 years new, 26 years newer. No, it's because is it because it's shot with different equipment? It's shot different. No, the story, the acting, the visuals. Yes, there's an advantage to shooting something current times as opposed to the 70s and 80s. Advancement in technology. Take all that away, and this movie, hands down, is better than the original. So this movie also dealt with similar themes, but added some. It added some elements of psychological horror, some domestic violence, and child abuse, which are all kind of like taboo topics that are really difficult to tackle in a movie. And this movie portrayed them. Again, it goes back to the acting and the story. If it's acted well and written well, you can make anything look beautiful. The film focused more on George's mental deterioration as he became more violent, abusive, and paranoid. The film also implied that George had a troubled childhood and that he was repeating the cycle of abuse with his stepchildren. The film also showed the impact of the house's evil on the children, especially Chelsea, who was manipulated by Jody's ghost. The film also questioned the reliability of the Lutz's family story, as some characters suggested that they were lying or hallucinating. The film also had a more ambiguous ending, as it was unclear if George was truly free from the house's influence or if he would succumb to it again. And again, the way this movie was shot, acted, directed, written, it was just a perfect remake, a perfect entry in the franchise. And quite honestly, you could erase all the other movies and just have these two, and it would be fine by me. Maybe Amityville 2 you could probably keep in there, maybe, but all the other ones, it just got, like I said, way too. It got watered down, and it just you could tell that they were just reaching for money, a cash grabbing for money. This movie was also a commercial success, grossing over $107 million worldwide, against a budget of only $19 million. But again, the negative reviews from critics who compared it unfavorably to the original film and criticized the film's reliance on cliches, jump scares, and gore. As the consensus says, it's a so-so remake of a so-so original. The film did win 2 Teen Choice Awards for Choice Movie Actor in a Horror Thriller for Ryan Reynolds and a Choice Movie Scream Scene for Melissa George. The film was also nominated for 2 MTV Movie Awards for Best Frightened Performance by Ryan Reynolds and Best Breakthrough Performance by Chloe Grace Moretz. Which Chloe Grace Moretz, that's another actress that just has had a great and successful career. I mean, I believe, well, she did Carrie in 2013. She was in The Equalizer. She did Tom and Jerry. I mean, not to mention like, Kick Ass, uh, Let Me In. Uh, I mean, just an abundance of of movies, and she had, she's been able to maintain that stardom. She's a great actor, and everyone really hates her in that Carrie remake. But again, since we're talking about remakes versus the original, I think she had a pretty breakthrough performance in that as well, portraying Carrie White. But again, film is subjective. We all have our opinions. So let me know what yours are. What are your opinions? What's your thoughts on the Amityville Horror remake versus the original? Which one do you prefer the most? Which one have you seen? Uh, Sound off and let me know in the comments below. So, as I like to do with every movie, I like to make like little like images of DadPooL acting in that movie. So here's a few images that I created showing me inside the Amityville universe. So I have this one here that if I can pull it up. Wait, hang on. So there's me fighting in front of the house, combating all the evil demonic, entities. There's another one in front of the house. It was very difficult. This was a very difficult one to make because it would not pick up the Amityville for some reason. But I did make this one here. It's kind of like on the steps of the house. It looks really possessed and evil. And then here's me. If you know this scene from the movie, it's where all the flies. So here's me battling all the flies from the movie. Thought that was a really cool scene. Insects in a horror film are just creepy as hell. Like we all know, I've already talked about like roaches in horror films and which ones they were in, and the scenes were just iconic. Creep Show, Halloween 3. But yeah, so there's some fun I had with creating some images. And speaking of images, we have coming up in about 10 days, less than 10 days, December 1st, which means 25 days of Christmas horror with DadPooL, where I'll be reviewing holiday themed slasher movies and some pretty dark themed Christmas films. So if there's something that you want to come on and talk about on the show, you have a favorite holiday slasher, or maybe you're a director, maybe you made a film. Come on, hit me up and go in the description. Hit me up on Twitter at Twitter X, and I'll get you. We'll get you on. We'll discuss it. We'll promote your film. And I do got some surprises for you in the beginning of the month, so make sure you do turn those notifications on. Got some pretty cool some pretty cool guests. So can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing, and not only with the guests, but the content they're bringing with them. Just incredible, and their body of work. You're gonna know who they are. Trust me. So can't wait for that. So it's gonna consume Christmas, and then we got coming up in January. We're gonna be tackling a new topic where DadPooL Discussion presents Two Can Play This Game, where I'll be talking about a sequel of a franchise and whether that sequel helped or hurt that franchise. So again, I'm going to expand it outside of horror. It's going to be more than just horror. But I do have a list together of some really bad sequels and some really good sequels, and I want you to come along, listen, and take this journey with me as we talk about either the building up of a franchise or the total destruction of it. So stay tuned for that. Um, we also have another series coming out next year as well called DadPooL's Horror Stack podcast, where I'll be covering movie adaptations from books. I cannot wait for that because there are so many great adaptations. I'm not going to go into them right now, but I got the list going. I got some ideas. Um, Getting all the thumbnails together, getting all my notes together. Been, it's easier for me to listen. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks in my free time, so I've been listening to a lot of the audiobooks, so I've been jotting down notes as I'm listening. So yeah, it's going to be great. So I'll be bringing you some of the best horror adaptations from a novel. That should be great. And then the last series that I want to do, haven't titled it yet, and I kind of want you guys to help me, is I got the concept of, like, I got horror. I'm carrying horror. I got the horror. So what should I do with horror? What new takes of reviews or ideas or stuff for shows should I do? Let me know. And if you suggest a great idea and I use it, you'll be credited with that idea on the stream. You'll get promoted. It's just a way of involving you, like I've always done on the podcast, whether it was through Deadpool Halloween. You guys are suggesting horror movies I should watch, and I credit you with that during the review. Help me come up with a great title and a great series for this logo, and I will feature you on an episode of that series. So again, hit me up in the comments. Go to the description, hit all those links, follow, subscribe, send me messages, interact, and we'll grow together. We'll make this work together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So those are just some of the things I have put out there and ideas. There's still more to come. So as we get closer to those dates, and I'll reveal more as the month of December starts and goes through. But I'm just kind of cooking them up now and getting them ready, and I can't wait to share them with all of you. So again, I want to thank you for stopping by tonight, for listening, for commenting, interacting in the chat. Love you all. You guys are great. Again, the patience you guys have to stick with me through thick and thin, and it just means a lot to me, because this has not been an easy time, and I'm really hoping that 2024, I don't even care. I shouldn't even say 2020. I'm hoping tomorrow is a new day, is something new, because I've dealt with the old too much. So I'm hoping tomorrow is a new day. A new day for everybody to just wake up and realize that all the hate, all the drama is just unnecessary. It's a waste of energy, and you're not going to win. So you can exude any amount of energy you want. You're not going to succeed. Because I'm not going to allow it. I'm gonna push through and continue to do what I'm doing, and I can't wait for what December brings. I can't wait for January and talk about franchises survival hinged on one movie, if that made or broke the franchise. I can't wait to talk about books. And books were something that I really wasn't into, but audiobooks I kind of been getting into the last month or so. especially with the vision loss. So I can't wait to bring you that content. It's going to be amazing. So again, if there's anything you want to talk about on the show during any of the months, any of the series I got going on, again, best way to do it is hit me up on Twitter X, send me a DM, drop a follow, and we can talk about it. And I look forward to it. So before I go, I just want to make sure everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving tomorrow, and enjoy family, friends, enjoy a good meal. Watch a movie. I mean, I always say watch a movie. There's no time like the present to watch a movie. I know one of my movies that I watch every Thanksgiving, and I'll watch it even when it's nothing. I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's one of my favorite comedies, so I'll watch that. I love watching Gremlins. I don't know why. I know it's like more of a Christmas, but it kind of gets you in that Christmas spirit. I love watching Gremlins. So those are movies that I'll be watching tomorrow, amongst others. So, and don't forget, we have a new episode coming out this weekend. I'll let you know what movies I'll be talking about, original versus the remake. I'll put that tease out on Friday, and the video should be out on Sunday. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on. So again, watch a movie, hug your loved ones, and until the next video, this is DadPooL saying, love y'all, and I'll see you real soon.